you for joining us this evening. And tonight would have been our forum for the Park Forest Chicago Heights School District 163 candidate forum. So today is March 14th. We were set to begin at 5 o'clock. We gave it an extra 5 minutes or so to see if any candidates would pop in, but they did not. So let me just go through what would have been our forum tonight. So just a reminder that voting day, early voting begins March 22nd. Check your local polling places, and of course, you can vote on April 6th, Election Day. This is our itinerary of what the forum would have looked like: a welcome, a little bit about SOS, explaining the ground rules of engagement, introducing each candidate and allowing them to have 2 minutes each to speak using a timer. To introduce themselves, we would explain the questioning procedures. We did solicit and ask for pre-event questions to be submitted via email. Tonight, we did not receive any pre-event questions for this forum. We also would have questions submitted during the event live in the chat box, and we would alternate between those pre-event questions, the questions submitted during the event, and the questionnaire questions that we sent out as an invitation to fill out the vetting questionnaire. So we'd alternate between those three had we had any candidates show up. Then after explaining all of that, the forum would actually begin, which would be a question and answer. Everyone takes turns to answer their questions. We would then allow our candidates to have closing remarks if there was time, and then we would do a quick closing, remind you about our next upcoming forum. So we'll just skip through. This is about SOS. We don't have to go through all the rules. And then this here is the important screen tonight. So our Park Forest Chicago Heights School District 163 board member candidates are these 8 individuals. None of the above, or I'll just say their names: Jimmy Bowen, Takesha Howard, Lance Jefferson, Chantel Johnson, Jacqueline Jordan, Allison McCrae, Margaret McDaniel, Walter Mosby III are the 8 candidates who are running for 4 open seats on the school district board of 163. None of the above candidates have communicated with SOS about participation interest or conflicts. Because we've had both. We've had candidates that reach out to us ahead of time and tell us they're interested in participating. We've also had candidates that have reached out and said, hey, I received your invitation, but I can't make it, sorry, or is there a way to reschedule? We've had all of that happen from other candidates, but none of that happened with these 8. And then also none of the above candidates requested or submitted the SOS candidate questionnaire to which they were mailed. So with the mail, we know that the recent snowstorms and the end of February, beginning of March, or middle of March, or I should say, end of February, beginning of March, really backed up the mail service. So with that, we have 2 candidates that did not receive still the questionnaire that we sent out on the middle of February. They still have not received those 2. However, they likely were told about it from colleagues or others. But I can't guarantee that they were. I just know that they did not receive it in the mail. The rest of them did. So those 2 candidates who did not receive the mail questionnaire were Jimmy Bowen and Jacqueline Jordan. The candidates who did not receive our forum invitation that we also mailed out due to, again, the post office delays were just one, which is Walter Mosby III. Candidates who attended our District 227, Rich Township High School District 227 forum last night. They attended as audience members and to see the event. That was just yesterday, who also, again, chose not to participate today in their own forum for their own candidacy were, let's see, that was Walter Mosby III and Jacqueline Jordan. So they had an idea, most likely, of how this was going to go and what it looked like and how it was going to proceed, but chose not to participate and also not to communicate that they were not able to participate. So that kind of gives you an overview of what happened today. So we appreciate your attendance. Had any of them responded to our questionnaire, they would have been allowed to have an extra 1 minute added to all of their time to speak. So last night, for example, at the 227 forum, we had questionnaire respondents who were able to get 1 extra minute to introduce themselves. They had 1 extra minute for every question they responded to, and they had would have had 1 extra minute in the closing remarks, but we went over with time and we actually didn't do the closing remarks last night. This is the 3 pools, like I explained before, of the questions that we would alternate. There were none submitted tonight for pre-event questions for this this candidacy. And then this is what we would close with. So we would have allowed our candidates to have our closing remarks. We would have closed ourselves and let you know that our next forum is scheduled for this coming Saturday, March 20th at 6:30 p.m. And that's going to be for the Rich Township Government Forum. You can pre-register for that Zoom event with the link bit.ly/richtowngovt. We will have this forum as well as the other 3 that we've previously recorded and already held. This will all be uploaded and posted publicly to YouTube. We will make sure to post the link to that, and we'll email it out to everyone's emails that we have in our system for SOS. Please feel free to look us up on Facebook, to join our group. We have a lot of good discussions in our group. If you like our page on Facebook, you'll be able to stay updated with everything we're doing. And as always, reach out with any questions, comments, or concerns at saveoursouthland@gmail.com. That's saveoursouthland@gmail.com. And that concludes our potential forum that we would have had this evening. So we really appreciate your participation. Christina Dupay, which is a current board member for 163, did show up tonight because I'm sure she was interested to see, which candidates were going to show up and what they had to say and who she might be working with on her board. She showed up and logged off just a bit ago. And Miss Judy McGee, I really appreciate your participation as well to come and take your time on a Sunday. Ladies, Connie, Holly, and Lynn, my co-board members of SOS, appreciate your participation and time and energy spent. And we'll be here next Saturday, right?
Yes.
This Saturday, I should say.
Gina,
yes.
Is it okay for us to hang out a bit after?
Yeah, oh, of course. So that concludes the recorded part of this potential forum, and we will see you next time. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Nice to see you.